What's happening, everybody? John Hendricks here for Boot Crew Media, coming at you with another episode of The Drive presented by DraftKings Sportsbook here on Boot Crew Media. Obviously, we just got through Week 11. Saints, Rams. Saints are able to pull out a 27-20 victory over Los Angeles. Why can't they all look like that this year, right? I think that's kind of the big thing on everybody's mind at the moment is that you're able to respond offensively. Andy Dalton bounced back in a big way. Taysom Hill usage was there. We talked about this on the pregame that you had to get this offense going. You know, you knew you were deficient in a couple areas with the offensive line, defensive line, just a couple of these types of things, getting off to a quick start. And, you know, obviously there's a little bit of back and forth, you know, in the first half, but Saints came out in the third quarter, put together some really good scoring drives. You know, again, not a perfect product. There were some things, but you didn't turn the ball over. You also had only 2 penalties throughout the game. You know, there's some times where Andy Dalton held on to the ball a little bit too long, and he said that afterwards in his press conference. But, you know, it's one of those that you were able to run the ball. Taysom Hill stuff works. You're able to connect on some deep shots. Chris Olave, Jarvis Landry getting his first touchdown with the Saints. That's big. Obviously, Juwan Johnson getting into the end zone again. Pretty much do everything that you need to do to get a win. And I think it's encouraging because this team coming in, I kind of joked and said, look, we're attending the wake today, but now we're probably more like the season is more on like maybe a high-end life support, or maybe you got the high-end ventilator. And again, I'm not trying to make fun or anything, but that's just kind of where the season is for this team. And so at 4-7, you know, it is a step in the right direction. You got the 49ers next week. You're going to be able to savor this victory really quick. You know, attendance was down today. I thought the Saints fans that were here, the Superdome, if energy was a little bit questionable at first, but look, they came alive as the game went along. And so definitely one of those that you look at and say, hey, look, they should have won this game. They did win this game. If they would have lost, probably would have had a lot more questions, a lot more division, or a lot of things that you'd have to sort out, right? But not having Cam Jordan, Marcus Davenport, you lost Peyton Turner to an ankle injury, foot injury. He got carted off. That's never good. Offensive line was missing Andres Pete. You obviously had to roll with Landon Young again. Aaron Donald was on that side. I mean, kind of the recipes to say, look, this team just can't overcome, but they found a way. Defensively, they had some really outstanding drives. You know, Chris Harris Jr. looked really good early on, kind of got victimized a little bit later in the game. Demario Davis playing outstanding. Paulson Adebo playing outstanding. You've got Alontae Taylor that looked good. I mean, this is becoming a really fun duo to watch, and I get they have some growing pains because Taylor's a rookie, but you're just seeing a lot of the product on the field that things are working for him. And so Caden Ellis, man, this guy's got a rocket strapped to him. And, you know, Demario Davis said in postgame that, look, he's kind of like the best kept secret, but now everybody's going to know about him. And, look, he's played extremely well for absent Pete Werner, so they're going to have to find ways to get him on the field and get some snaps for him. So real good Saints win. Obviously, that's one thing. At this point, you're just worried about winning football games. You can't sit here and say, well, the division race, in the hunt, all this other stuff. Their test is really going to be against the 49ers on the road coming off of Thanksgiving. Team is reportedly supposed to travel on Friday, so we'll see how that kind of shakes out the practice week. But, look, New Orleans getting a big win, playing well in all 3 facets of the game is what you want to see. And I think it's been customary for every win we've seen, with maybe the exception of Atlanta, is that this team has played really well in all phases of the game. And, you know, there's not many wins to talk about this year, but when you see them not play their brand of football, or just do things, or have too much pressure on them, or not playing like they did today, it's kind of like, let's just go attitude, right? And so this is a good sign for the team. We'll see if they can build upon it next week in San Francisco. We'll obviously be out that way. So at any rate, we thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to use that code BOOT, B-O-O-T, for your chance to get $200 in free bets just by putting down a $5 bet for DraftKings Sportsbook. Have a happy Thanksgiving. We appreciate all the support. Thanks again. John Hendricks signing out for the Superdome.